So Shorty was still looking for a place to live. Dang, this is making a lot of sense now as to why he would stay the night over here so much. See, this is a self-reflection video. Like, I really have to look at how dumb I was for someone who I was never in a relationship with. Hola, como de Wassup. Welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Khadi Oladi. This is a very different type of story time. This is a story time that I have been waiting to do. Y'all, woo! So before we get into it, I do have two ediables here that I'm going to attempt to eat. We're gonna see, but these edibles are very, like, this is a very smooth ride. These edibles are very nice. They're cute and stuff like that. I got it from my cousin's graduation. Shout outs to her, the doctor. So we are just going to sit here. I'm going to tell y'all this fuckboy story. I'm telling you, please get prepared. There was a lot that has happened with this situation. So I don't know how long this is going to be. Please get prepared. We about to just get into it. Whoopty-whoopty-woo. Boopty. Okay, so boom. Y'all. Where do I even start? I know where to start, but I'm trying to figure out how to start this. All right. It's doing good. Okay. It was about like 2018. And during this time of my dating life, I was just not really checking for anyone. Shorty, you know, around that time, get a little bored, blah, blah, blah. I got a Tinder profile. This time, I had like a nice little, I had a nice little 4 count. I had a nice little 4 count of niggas, you know, a nice little 4-piece count. And it was looking nice. I had a one over here, I had a firefighter, whoop-de-whoop-de-woo, you know what I'm saying? I had a fucking, what did that nigga do? I don't know, but his dick was super big, like. So it started to narrow down to like 1. So I was like, the other ones is inconsistent. I don't like that. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to pick something up. So I started scoping for new little shorties. Da, 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 da. So I'm swiping. So boom, boom. Here comes my type. I love all men. Please understand that. But this particular type of man can get 50 children out of me. Before then, it was just about like how you look, but now you gotta come with a little bit of that. But if you look that way, So he was chocolate, girl. He had a beard and a mustache and a connected bitch. His head was a little big, but like the way he took a picture, like he had very beautiful chocolate skin, nice smile, you know what I'm saying? Like he looked real put together. He dressed nice, he could match. So I was just like, okay, swipe. I saw him, da da da. This situation went on for 3. Honestly, it literally ended in 2022. Like, swiped on him to the right, cha-cha one time. So then, da da da, we matched. I'm so bougie. I've been keeping up this whole time. Like, why my finger feel so flexed? I'm bougie eating these edibles. It's edible, y'all. And I possibly have another one. Maybe I kind of already, before I did this. And I know that the edible don't catch on that fast. But maybe because my adrenaline. I'm going to take a wall break. We matched. Cool. I'm not thinking anything of it because I already matched. Da da da. So I get some message. Hey. HEYYY. 3 Y's. Hey, how are you, Whoopty? Now consider to all the conversations, y'all know how it is on Tinder. Like you get the hey, what you doing? The oh my god, you look so good. Or you know how it is on these dating apps. You get all these like oh my god, you look so good, da da da, hard eyes, but nothing real like conversation. So I was tired of the dry conversations. I was tired of like the what you doing, da da da. So I was just like, damn, when's somebody gonna talk about something? I said, hey, how you doing? He said, I'm blessed, doing well, da da da. Like, just had a good week, da da da. So, how are you? And I was like, he's blessed. Okay, look at him, knowing a little bit, a little spirituality. My dumb ass. I was very much into like the new age stuff and like still having like Christianity on my side. Like, I'll do a whole video about that if you want to see it. So, if you want to see that, go ahead and like it. But like, I was very much into tarot cards. Like, I had a tarot page. I used to promote it on here and everything. Like, y'all, that's how I even... This situation was even how I even got into all that. But, baby, let me tell you. Woo! We will get to that. I was like, oh, okay, like, look at him. He got a little vocabulary. He knows how to say words. He can articulate himself. Oh, my God, he has a brain. Let's communicate. So, we talking, da-da-da-da. So we laid it on the line. Before we get deep into this story, y'all will know and y'all will hear. Yes, I caught feelings.
Oh my God, corny, lame, boo, tomato, I'm throwing tomato.
So now I was like, okay, cool, da da da, what you on here looking for? So he said, I just got out of something right now, so I ain't looking for nothing serious. I'm just looking for someone that I can chill with, kick it with, da 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 da, who got a little bit of a freak in them. I said, chill, hang, a little bit of a freak. That sounds cool. I said, yeah, that sounds like, what I'm about, da da da. He said, okay, so sounds like we on the same page. Here's my number. We exchanged numbers. Now let me tell you guys something. Anyone who knows this story, and they know exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, yes, y'all. We forgot to even give him a name. But there's no name to give him. We're going to give him his actual name. So, if you hear Tom Riddle, if you hear Voldemort, if you hear he who shall not be named, that is the same person. But for right now, we probably just gonna call him Tom Riddle. Voldemort, we'll know when he's Voldemort. Right now, he's Tom Riddle. Because that bitch, he was a Gemini. He definitely had two personalities. I love my Geminis. My mother's a Gemini. My best friend's a Gemini. But Gemini men?
Woo, that'll do it. You don't have to worry about me. You do not have to worry about me.
So, these brownies are basically crumbles now. It's not even a brownie. So we got each other's number. He said, yeah, this is Tom. I said, hey, Tom, wah, 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 da, da, da. Let's keep it very much in mind. He was option B. Okay, so I already had an option A. So it was one night, and baby girl was feeling kind of... And, I was trying to see who was going to pull up. What's up with the what's up? So I sent them both the same text, copy and paste. Whoever answered, you know what I'm saying? That's who, da-da-da. Option A answered, but he gave me the typical flake message like, oh, I would love to, da-da-da, like, but I can't bullshit it. Tom Riddle, he was like, oh, okay, I would love to, but could I come tomorrow because I got to take care of my daughter today? Mind you, I knew he had a child. We didn't talk about the baby mama, but I knew that he had a child because we was texting. I was like, how old is your child? Da, da, da. He was like, the child is 1 year old. Y'all, why don't I see the red flags? At that time, I was not concerned about what was going on with him and his situation. I was concerned on whether I could add you to my roster or not. So, this is a Tuesday. He has to come the next day. I said, cool. Shorty came over the next day. We talking, da-da-da. He said, why you all the way over there? I said, what's up, talking to me? Da-da-da. Get closer to him. I remember I was braiding my hair, and my hair wasn't done. And I remember he was texting me, and he was asking me what I was doing. I was like, oh, I'm braiding my hair. And it was the day before, and then I sent him a picture. So my hair is like halfway braided, like down here. Like all this is braided because I'm getting ready to go to Dior. I'm getting ready to go to the Dominican Republic. My hair all that, and I'm just like, why the fuck? Like, I was trying like to not slide him to come over. I was like, oh yeah, you could, but I thought my hair was gonna be done already, but it wasn't. So I tried to make it cute, like tied at the top, still have it at the down, but yeah. He asked to see what type of stuff I was watching at that time, and I was just like, if you know the XXX videos. So put one on. That's how I was like, oh, he really is a little freaky little nasty little boy, Okay, y'all, the dick made me cry. There was a little tear that came out of my eye because of how good. I'm so ashamed to say this out loud. I'm ashamed to say this out loud, but it's the truth. Like, all I can say is, goddamn, I was mind blown, and I had my compliments as well. We matched each other's energy. I give that. Hey, that shit was really like a sport sometimes. Like we really was like team play. It was really an athlete. Y'all really gonna think I'm crazy by the end of this video, but I don't care. Shorty left around that time, so I'm mind blown. The phone conversations is up. I'm like, man, he did this, he did that. I said, he hits every point. Every sexual point that I was into, he hit it. And then it was like, shorty read my body. Like, he knew when to go up, go down. Like, he knew when to make the energy swap. It was very, like, it was just very twin. It was very twin flame-ish. If you know, you know. But, again, we will get into that. So, I'm talking to my cousin on the phone, and I'm just like, no lie, I want him to come drop it off again. Like, I was like, but I don't want to ask, though, because at this time, like I said, I had the niggas on my line. They was trying to clock my tea. So, we was clocking each other's tea, like, and don't think after that, like, the conversations got dry or whatever, but he was talking to me, but I wasn't trying to respond to him because I wasn't trying to, like, look thirsty and stuff like that, whatever. And we wasn't, like, really trying to press each other out as far as conversations go. It wasn't until this time that we really started to engage with each other. Oh, God, I forgot the other reference because this is coming up. This is coming up very soon. Okay. So I hit shorty up, saying like, hey, like, what's up? Like, he was like, oh, what's up? Like, I was like, so did you want to, like, slide through, whatever? And I was like, do you smoke? He said, yeah. I said, okay, like, we can smoke a little bit, what I'm saying? Like, woo, cool. So then, like, we set up the meet. And then next thing you know, he texts me like, oh, why is there traffic? See, those type of texts is like, I'm trying to keep a conversation with your text. Because before, our text was very like, oh, what's up, da-da-da. Very straightforward, like, what are you about? What's this about? How are you going to, link up here? What's the address? Very pish posh. But say like, oh, why is there traffic? I was just like, so are you engaging? Like, did a little LOL, did a little maneuvering, da-da-da. I said, where are you at? And she was like, on BW Parkway. And then I'm like, BW got the shits. So we conversing and like doing a little giggle and hee hee ha ha. I was like, okay. I was like, well, just let me know when you get here. Like, I'm gonna leave the door open. Shorty came through. He rode. Smoked. I think we listened to music. Then, whoop-dee. Shorty left. So now, like I said, since Shorty sent like a message of trying to continue conversation or to like, oh, let me see if you can hold a conversation or trying to be funny or trying to be comedic and stuff like that, that started happening. We started to talk. Now, when I say we talk about things, it wasn't just like, What you do today? Nothing. We will talk about aliens, FBI, biggest fears, art, romanticism, fucking books, real life scenarios. What would you do in this situation? Like when I say conversation, whoop-de. So don't think that. So it wasn't like no, like, oh, I will only see you at a certain time. Like, yes, of course, but in between that, it wasn't like I was hitting you up to be like, oh, what you doing or where you at. Like, we talk about shit that happened at work, and then how like people would, fuck the system up, like real conversations. So nigga was intelligent. I'm like, this nigga can hold an actual conversation. Like, we can talk about things, and he can be vulnerable and express things that, like, I'm sure that you can express to people who you're, involved with and things like that. But like someone who you're just kicking it with, and you just on some chill stuff with, like, why would you, Okay, this one's almost done. So now this is where it starts getting funky. I had to give y'all that small little intro before it starts getting real funky. At this time, we have nice little setup, nice little routine. Shorty would come over to my crib. We would chill, smoke, talk, kick it, smoke, talk, kick it, smoke, talk, kick it, smoke, talk, kick it. That's what we would do. We didn't really get into his child's mother situation. So I would say this was like around the March time. At this point, this is like 4 months in. Like March, April. We cool at this time. I remember I pulled up to, I think, one of his friend's house. So that's how I know that him and his child's mother was going through a situation. Him and his child's mother used to stay together. And baby was born, boo, whatever happened. They started splitting up. So he was staying at a friend's house, and he had his child stuff in the back. So again, red flags. Like, you're clearly still going through with this person. But like I said, at that time, like, I was really, truly, honestly okay with us kicking it at the time. So I pulled up to his friend's apartment, whatever. He was in the car. So he presented himself to be a very nice gentleman. I think I was cold or whatever. He was like, yo, like, if you cold, like, let me know. Like, what did he say? He said, oh, if you sat in that front passenger seat, like, I consider you to be cool. Like, you're not just like somebody like now that I just be like, oh, I'll just go see like on some, I'm just trying to fuck time shit. So we're in the car, and I'm now like, intrigued. At first I was curious, but now I'm intrigued. So I asked him after he said they like, like, consider yourself like a friend or whatever. I was just like, okay. So now I was like, oh, so now that we're friends, I have a question to ask you. He said, I have an answer. He probably bring back the neck, baby. I was only going to ask you like a simple icebreaker question. Relax. So I asked him, I said, if you could be any animal in the world, what would you be? This boy had like a literal fucking seizure. He was like, and I was very confused as to like what was going on. So I was just like, okay. He was just like, no, like, you don't understand. Like, that's my favorite question in the world. Like, if I was to have a question to ask anyone, anywhere, like, that's my favorite question. And I was just like, okay. Like, and, that was a little moment that we had, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, blah. We almost got arrested. So I'm trying to make sure that I get to the, yeah, bitch. I almost got arrested with this fool. That should have been my cue right there, but no. No. Try to make sure that I get to the moments, because I want to show y'all how I ended up catching. Wow. I want to show y'all how I ended up catching feelings for this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Don't think I was just out here because every time that we spent together, we was only just fucking around. No. We was spending time together. So, like, Yes, I ended up liking him and ended up getting a crush on him. I remember this particular time. So after that moment, like, you know, of course, continued to have conversations, da da da. So I was at my cousin's house and we was just like chilling outside, just going outside, just chilling, like drinking, I think because it was hot or whatever. I was a little bit saucy and we was having a conversation, like, you know, just talking about stupid shit. He was just the only person I was texting at the time. Like we was back and forth, keeping conversation. I was getting a little sauce stat and saying, so I was like, oh, what you doing? Like, he was like, I ain't doing nothing. I was like, he said, oh, you want me to come over? I said, and if I do? So he said, keep the door unlocked. So I was like, yeah, I gotta go. Like, you know, it was already dying down anyway, so I was trying to set it up. Well, you know, I was already feeling it. I was trying to set it up so when I do leave, even if I was on my way driving, I could hit the woo woo woo. The plan was already set in motion before I left the door. So again, we like 4 or 5 months in. At this point, we fucking with each other. Like, we fucking with each other heavy. Like I said, before I get to the arrested part of the story, which is I'll say the rising action. That ain't the climax. The climax, we gonna keep rising. Because once we hit that rising action, that's just gonna keep rising. He told me to come to his house. This is the first time that I was going to his crib. But he was staying with his parents. I think he moved back in with his parents or whatever. And where he stayed at was good because it was literally a straight road, 20 minutes back to my house. I pulled up to his crib. But like I said, I was drinking. I was a little sauce. And around this time, you know what I'm saying, I'm out here having like little daydreams, fantasies about him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm crushing on him. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting a little, like, I didn't catch the feelings yet. But I was getting a little crush. I was just like, he's really cute, huh? Oh, he is nice. Like, you know, just getting into my little bubbles, my little feels. I guess because I was driving in the motion, the alcoholism disconnected. So I opened up the door and into the street I went. I had thought that I wasn't seen or, you know, observed. I turn around, my passenger door is open, and here goes Shorty with ginger ale in the water, just like, you good? In my mind, I was like, how did you know? Like, he was able to read my mind. She was able to read my mind. And that's how I'm going to get into the whole, I feel like that goes into the whole spirituality, twin flame, tarot thing. Like, if y'all know, like, if you know about twin flames and all that, like, I know I'm going to have different parts of this. We gonna get this out. We gonna get this out. It's going to take all day. We gonna get this out. And we almost done with the first edible. Actually, we might as well finish it. I don't dump. I'm a lady. First edible complete. Second edible ready. So you like, you good? Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to throw up in front of your house. I mean, yeah, I'm not apologizing for throwing it up because, bitch, I had to. But, like, you know, bitch, like, you ain't trying to throw up in front of the nigga. Like, you about to, you know, he about to eat you. Like, you about to do some wild stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this wasn't the first time that I went to his house. I literally just thought about that. The second time that we linked up, after the first time that he came to my house, like the very first time, the second time that we linked up, I went to his place. He was like in the middle of doing whatever that we made a video the second night. Yeah, I forgot that a lot. Okay, yeah. So the second time, this is before we like got all cool and stuff like that. But yeah, this wasn't the first time I went to his house. This was the second time I went to his house when I was sauced up. The first time that I went to his house was the second time that we linked up. We made a video. Not a long one, just 2 little clips, and they were nice. And I remember I was giving him fellatio. And Shorty was like, oh yeah, I could definitely chill with this. And I was like, thank you. Warning, this video is rated R. I don't know why I said that was the first time that I went to his house. It wasn't. It was the second time. So, yeah, I was like, damn, you know, I threw up in front of your house, my bad. I was trying to, like, you know what I'm saying, good. Like, you know, we sat outside, smoked or whatever, went inside. Bitch, I was drunk as shit. I was drunk as shit. Like, I can't hold myself. And that was the very first time that I tried in the butt. Girl,
that's a booty hole.
I remember that he used, like, bitch, he used, like, some fucking, like, gel or whatever on my butt, like, on the hoe, and, like, it did, like, some hot cold thing. I don't know. He pulled it out the backpack, bitch. When a nigga got a backpack during sex, just know. This nigga about to pull out a trick on your ass. And you about to be like, bitch, what the fuck is this? And then you think about it like, oh, I wonder where he got this from. So he's been consistent with why we've been linking up. We've been linking up. You can smoke. You're cute as shit. I don't know nothing about your child's mother situation. You're keeping that separate. You're handling your shit on your side. I'm handling shit on my side. Like, we have good sex. Like, oh, great. Amazing sex. Like, amazing. We ain't got no problems. I ain't pulling up on you. You ain't pulling up on me. We cooling it. We kicking it. Whatever. We are on this second edible. Alright, so let's get into this whole we almost got arrested thing. So, like I said, Shorty was going through it with his child's mother. So I think whatever was going on with him and his parents, I think when I went to his house that second time, I saw boxes and stuff everywhere. So I'm guessing that they were moving out of that house. So Shorty was still looking for a place to live. Dang. This is making a lot of sense now as to why he was staying the night over here so much. See, this is a self-reflection video. Like, I really have to look at how dumb I was for someone who I was never in a relationship with. But it started off only sex. But by this time, we was kicking it. We wasn't friends. We was cool. We was kicking it. So, I remember Shorty hit me up. He was like, what you doing? Da-da-da. And I was just like, I think I'm about to go to bed. Because it was late at night. Like, it was like 11 o'clock-ish, probably. He said, you trying to pull up? I said, no. He was like, oh, no. I'm at the hotel right down the block. So, like, I was on my cycle. Like, I couldn't do nothing or whatever. He was like, okay, I could just get some head or whatever. So, like I said, we was just chilling. Cool, kick it, get over there. We in the hotel. We coolin', kicking it, do what we need to do. And now we're done. And he was like, you ready to go smoke? And I was like, yeah. We sitting there joking, da-da-da. He was Haitian and Trinidadian, and I'm Nigerian. So we used to, like, joke around about that, too. Like, you know, in our accents or whatever. Just a little jokey joke. We goes downstairs to his car. So for some reason, we was just smoking, and I don't know if he was selling on the side or depending on how much he smoked, like that's just how much he got. But I remember he had like 7 grams or something like that or whatever. No, like 17 grams on him or something like that. It was a high amount of number, and I think in Maryland, if you have over 10 grams on you, then, like, they're going to think, like, you're trying to sell. For some reason, while we were smoking, listening to music, he had his pack, and he was just like, oh, how much you think is in here? And I was like, see, it's always situations like that where random shit be happening, and that's the random stuff. Like, it just keeps happening and happening, just like, sidebar, like, I remember I got into this car accident in the Uber, and this lady kept talking about, she was like, yo, I'm such a good driver. She's like, I haven't been in a car accident. She's like, well, I just got in a car accident, like, whatever. She just kept talking about her being in a car accident, and as soon as I get very close, like, literally 2 minutes from my destination, we got into a car accident. Someone ran to the back of her. So for him, he just kept talking about it. So, like, I'm just saying it was one of those situations where he just kept talking, like, yeah, like, I'm not trying to sell it or whatever. He said, this is all for me, like, like, I'll be good while I'm out here. I don't need to, like, I promise y'all, I think I had the J, and it was, like, literally, if I passed it to him, once he smoked it, we were done. Like, I was about to leave after I passed him that J and he smoked and put it out, I was about to leave. We sit in the car. I just see white light, dead center in the middle. Mind you, I don't get pulled over by the cops. Like, if I do get pulled over by cops, it's like I'm driving and they're already behind me with the blue lights and whatever. I've never been peeped up by the cops before. Again, friends, red flag. Here I am, just scared shitless. And this is around the time where cops is on a rampage shooting up black people. It was about to happen. And then during this time, y'all, I was an intern at the jail. The same jail that they ended up taking him to. When I tell you, I just ignored every single sign. We just gonna make a disclaimer right now. Khadi ignored every single sign to get out of there. Why? Hopefully by the end of this story, we will find out why I ignored every single sign to get the hell out of Dodge. So the cops pull up, they get in the car, I had Linda. Rest in peace to Linda. I had a bag. It was Linda from Bob's Burgers. All my weed stuff. Like, anybody who knows Linda knows Linda was the mascot for a very long time. Like, let's take a moment of silence for Linda. They have two cops on each side, and what the cops who was on his side, he was like, what y'all doing out here? We had a complaint smell about weed, woo, woo, woo. So what my guess was, they patrolled the place, because I ain't see them patrol. Like, they had their lights off, tents, whatever. So probably while we're there, they saw that the car was running and it got fogged up. And so, like, nigga cop, I said nigga cop because he was black. So the black cop pulled up. And he was like, yeah, like, you know, they were smoking out here, like, you know, da-da-da. And he asked him, like, you know, license, ID, and whatever. And so my little bag was in the front. And he had, oddly enough, he had a grinder that looked like a revolver. If Tom Riddle was to make one false move, that could have been a very dangerous situation because literally the grinder looked like a revolver chamber. He reached for that grinder to move out the way. And the guy saw that it was a grinder, I guess, like, once he moved it. And then the cop, he went to the whoop thing. And I had the cop on my side, opened up the door, had the gun pointed at me. And my hands is up like this. I'm literally sitting there, frozen. The black cop was like, oh, like, you know, don't move too quick. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is that? He was like, that's my, he put his hand back so far back, I ain't never, like, son, he could have put his head in the back seat, how far he pushed back. He said, what is that? And he was like, that's my grinder. He said, okay, let me get that. Let me reach in that. The cop reached in, grabbed it out, and put it on there. He said, okay, because that looks like a revolver or whatever. And he was like, do you have anything else in the car? He said, no. So the cop kept the lights on. They did. So he looked for his ID, passed it out, da-da-da. Of course, he lied about having more than 10 grams in the car. I remember he had 27 grams in the car. The cop who was on my side, he was like, that bag, is that yours? I said, yeah. So the guy grabbed my bag, put it on top. So Tommy gets out the car, and the cop reaches in and looks through stuff, and then he finds the 27 grams. He said, as I'm looking through his car, is there anything you want to say? Like, he said, you got weed on you? He said, yes, sir. He said, is it more than 10 grams? He's like, honestly, I don't know. He literally told me the number before that light flashed through the drone. And I was just like, baby, you're not about to get me fucked up. But listen, I know the code. So as far as I know, I'm only worried about Linda and me. They asked me questions, baby, I just pulled up. We just met yesterday, sir. After he got out the car, he finds the 27 grams. The black cop looks at him like, nigga, really? The white cop was there. He looked, he said, what is that? And he was like, yeah, I found the weed. I found the stuff, like, whatever. He was like, okay. And the white cop was like, all right, well, like, you know, bring it to the car so that we can measure it out, whatever. And the black cop looked at him like, bro, like, if it was just me, like, I probably would have let you go. But, like, he just, like, looked at him like, yeah, okay. He was like, all right, well, I got to, like, you know, handcuff you, we'll have you sit to the side while we check your IDs and stuff like that. They didn't arrest me. Baby girl was not in handcuffs. Baby girl did not get arrested. They could tell that I was just the girl that pulled up and was trying to fuck with the nigga or whatever. And I just brought my stuff. So I think I had like a little bit of weed in my bag. I don't think I had like, I think I had like, yeah, I had like a little bit of weed in my bag. Because when I got my bag, my weed was gone, but all my other stuff was there. Like my bowl, my papers, all the other stuff. But the weed that I actually had was gone. So I was very, very upset. Am I high? I don't know if this edible hit me high. Almost done. He is now sitting on the curb. I'm standing up because I'm trying to make sure, like, you know, either they don't beat him up, do nothing to him, So that, like, if he does, you know, go to the car or go in the back, like, I at least know what happened. So I'm standing there. He's like, you know, I'm so sorry, stuff like that. I was just like, I mean, we was both here. We was both smoking. So, I mean, yeah. But I looked at him. I was like, yeah. And I didn't know that you had that much. But I looked at him like, I said, yeah, I didn't even know you had that much or like that it was that much. Like, he was like, I didn't either. But he looked like, I'm sorry. And I was just like, you dummy. And the black cop was like, and he said what he said. The black cop said what he said. He said, yeah, like, honestly, like, I get it and stuff like that, whatever. Like, he said, I ain't see no little baggies or, like, no scale or nothing like that. So, like, I could tell that this was, like, for personal use. But, like, he said, my partner was here. Like, if my partner wasn't here, like, honestly, this would have issued you a fine and some shit like that. Like, he said, I'm not going to hold you. Like, I really wasn't trying to do that paperwork. And he was a black cop talking to us. So here comes the white cop coming back, da-da-da. And he was like, oh, is this yours? Talking about Linda. And I was like, yes. He said, well, you can take this and you can go. And I was like, thank you. And I had it. He said, oh, no, you can go. I was just like, I don't know if he's going to be okay. So I slowly started walking off. And I saw that, like, then they started talking. He was like, yeah, so we saw that it's like 26 point something grams, da-da-da-da. You know, the legal junk is 10 grams. He was like, oh, word? This nigga was like, oh, word, it is? Who would have thought? So they ended up booking him, taking to the back. And I felt bad, y'all. I did. I felt bad. I was just like, we was both smoking. And, like, he got in trouble. So I at least, like, wanted to know if he was okay. So we left. I think, like, his phone was off or whatever. So I sent him, like, a text message. I was like, I'm sorry. Like, well, I didn't say sorry, but I was like, damn, like, I hope you good. You know what I'm saying? If there's anything that I could do, like, because I was there when that happened, you know what I'm saying? So, like, if there's, like, anything, like, that, like, you would need as far as, like, I don't know how this goes. Like, I don't know if you'll need to, like, do, like, a character witness or something like that. I don't know, like, if you, like, I was literally there. So, like, if they gonna need me or call me, whatever, like, I'm available, stuff like that. So I'm not gonna be, like, leave you high and dry and make it seem like you was by yourself type shit. Like, I'm not that type of person. I'm guessing he was in the Yale. I told y'all, I was interning there. I mean, I was deep into internship. It was like, if I was to pop up and I was to see any CO, any administrative, like, if they was to see my face, they will know me by first name. Shorty called me on the phone. I was like, yo, you good? He said, yeah, I'm straight, da-da-da-da. Like, I'm at the county jail. Why am I out here doing, I'm just sitting here, like, thinking, like, bitch, you're being a ride or die. Why am I out here doing ride or die qualities when we didn't even ride to go die nowhere? I'm out here being a fucking mom boss wife. Like, get this nigga out of jail. Like, this ain't the life that I signed up for. I'm trying to get my nigga off a yacht, not out of a jail cell, not out of a soap dish, no babe. So it's like, all right, well, we gotta be incognito because this is the same jail that I work at. And he was like, oh, okay. So I leave the house. I'll have my hoodie on. I mean, I am very much Damon from Mean Girls, okay? Unless you know me, you won't see me. I'm driving the car. I'm going to leave it over on the side. One, I could have had the risk of losing my internship and at most risk losing graduation. And this was, I think, my second to last year. So, and this was during my graduate season. So, yeah, baby girl was getting her master's. Yeah, so again, the red flags. Again, the red flags was there. I just didn't, how can I say, want to see them. So just here he come out dapping somebody up like, all right, bro, say up, da da da. He gets in the car. I was like, you know him? He was like, no, I just met him. Nigga, you out here making friends? Well, you should be worried about getting in the goddamn car and like, I don't know, everybody asking through, like, where is his child in all of this? Yes. Oh. Sorry, guys. He just had his second child. He had another child. He had an older son. And I think at the time, he told me about the son when we were smoking, getting arrested. That's when I was found out that he had another child. And that he said he hated that baby mother. I was like, that's a very strong word. He's like, no, but like, I'm dead ass. Like, so he had a son. And, well, he has a son and he has a daughter. But I mostly heard about the daughter and not too much about the son, but like, you know, it was one of those things. So like, but when he did say child, like he said, I have children. So he never excluded his son, like, oh, I have children. But I think from what I'm guesstimating, the first child's mother, it wasn't like a real relationship. It was just like, oh, we was cool, we was kicking it, baby girl got pregnant, like, and it just happened. And the child's mother that he was just with, they like were together, like had a baby shower, about to get married, all like they was in a relationship. That's gonna play into the story now. When we driving, I was just like, yo, you hungry? He was like, yo, you the goat. Yo, he was like, he said, no lie, like he said, like, you're actually a good person. I'm not trying to be funny or whatever. He's like, most women, like he said they wouldn't even be nice enough to be like a person, to like be a friend. He said, nah, honestly, we're friends now. He said, we're actually friends. He said it, not me. So I say, oh yeah, if I'm coming out here out of my house to come get you from fucking jail, oh nigga, we are friends now. I don't give a fuck what happens. Like, we're fucking cool. We're friends. Like, I consider you to be a cool ass person. Oof, dude, go get McDonald's, da da da. So, okay, I think I'm starting to feel it. I'm starting to feel it, y'all. I think I'm starting to feel the first one. I think the second one activated the first one. Yeah. It did. So, cheers. We have established our friendship. So, let's just consider this the montage part of the story. We are going to each other's places. He comes over, get a little bit of Wingstop. During this time, I went through tonsil surgery. So he would check up on me. We started sending gifts to each other. I introduced gifts to the conversation, and he started to catch on. He wasn't as good as me, but he was, subpar. And we started kicking and talking about stuff and giggling and laughing. And Shorty would come over and like, I remember we talked on the phone from when I got off the train from school all the way until he was literally inside the door of my house. So it'll be that type vibe. It'll be like, oh, Tom Riddle's coming over. My mom will know Tom Riddle. Like, the door will be open. He'll come over. Da da da. We'll listen to music, watch TV. So this is around, let's just say the montage lasts between May to June. Baby, we was hitting them foes. We was hitting the skins, baby. Skins was big. Sometimes 2 times a day, baby. Them skins was being hit, baby. Like, Shorty would come over on Monday, leave on a Tuesday, come back Tuesday evening, then leave, come back Thursday, stay till Friday, work, come back Friday evening, stay till Sunday morning. Like, it was a routine. So baby boy used to pull up, okay? We used to be kicking it. So the montage, like I said, this is between April to June. April to June, this is our montage. So now June, it's getting a little hot, getting a little spicy. So bitch is getting ready to go to Miami. Duh, bitch. I'm single, Miami, with my bitches. we gotta go. A little bit before this time, I remember him like, me and Shorty was just having one of our regular conversations. And how he met me, I know that he was still dating. So like I said, we was just when I tell y'all, this was a very good known situation. I ain't started catching feelings until I think I started catching feelings around the time that in between the montage of after getting arrested and after he got arrested and we started kicking it. So this was a little bit before Miami, but this was a little bit my feelings caught for him a little bit before what I'm getting into, which was before Miami. And by the time Miami was in, I already my feelings was hooked up. That shit was hooked up. After the whole arrest, then we kicking it, I started to grow. Montage was the peak. That's when I caught feelings. And then this was a little bit before what he was telling me, and what he was telling me was leading into Miami. So boom, let's get into it. So right now, the feelings has been poked. It got hooked up when I went to Miami. Okay? The feelings got hooked up. And it was very weird how the feelings got hooked up, because it was a situation where it should have got hooked down. Feels a little caught, you know what I'm saying? They ain't hooked up, you know what I'm saying? But they caught right now or whatever. So I remember he was talking about one of his ex-girlfriends or whatever was hitting him up or whatever like that. He was just he was she hit me, whatever. He's I had asked her, does she still have those feelings and stuff like that or whatever? And I was just oh, listen, bro, you're bringing up other women, you're having those types of conversations. So if this is something that you want to do or something that you want to explore, and you're trying to let me know, and this is what if you're saying that this is what you're doing, then say this is what you're doing. But don't say that this is what, oh, this person's hit me up and I don't know what to do, You already started doing it. So just say this is what I'm doing. So if I don't spend as much time with you, if I don't see you as much, just know that I'm occupying my time somewhere else. But don't think that, what we're doing is done. So between this time, it was an ex-girlfriend and his baby mother that was in his ear conversations. The ex-girlfriend, it was more so just to see if he could try to link up with her or whatever. He said I linked up with her, and she was just yeah, I still kind of like you and stuff like that, but whatever she said, I guess. So I remember he was oh, KD, because that's what he used to call me. He was oh, KD, my baby mother, she trying to basically get back with me. And I was just do you want to get back with her? And he was no. I was well, you keep bringing it up. So if this is something that you're doing, let me just break it down to you like this. If you feel as though that you guys need to be together because this is something that you want to do, then go ahead and do that. But if you keep telling me what you're telling me, it's oh, we've got to be together for the child because we discussed that we want to raise our child in a 2-parent household. I'm telling you, baby, that is not going to work. And the best way that y'all need to start discussing is co-parenting. Not co-parenting and having a relationship, because what y'all trying to do is to get back in a relationship, but you're trying to use your child as the navigation to say well, we did create a family, so we should be a family. No. From what you're telling me, it seems as though that this will be best if you guys co-parent. Please know that I said this, and that's what I told him. And he was just basically oh, well, she's crazy. We're not crazy. He was well, we got to physical altercation, so us co-parenting, I don't know about us living together, but the co-parenting sounds cool. I just gave the advice that I can give. But that should have been. But I shouldn't have done that. I should never put my 2 cents into his little situation. I should have been well, damn, you gonna figure it out. Because if you try to tell me what you try to tell me, and I'm bringing it up to you, you saying no, don't bring it up again. Don't bring up your child's mother. Don't bring up your ex-girlfriend. Don't bring up that either you trying to start messing around with someone else because you still trying to do it over here. So let's talk about something else. See, I have all this now, but back then I didn't have all that. I was just we get to where we got to. We started communicating about whatever. And then, bitch, we are now, cool and kicking it. He now has his own apartment, but he's sharing an apartment with one of his old co-workers or whatever. I don't know how or who, what's a galore, but we're still in the montage. But now the montage is starting to fall into an actual scene where we can start putting things together. I pull up to that apartment place, and we cooling, kicking it or whatever. And I remember we was outside, and he was on the phone, and I think we was just like, just chilling. Child's mother called. Shorty was like, "Oh, what you doing?" Or like, "Oh, I gotta talk to you." Like, I guess about a bill or something like that. And he's like, "Oh, I'm kicking it with KD. I'm chilling with KD." And she was like, "Who's KD?" And he was like, "You know who KD is." I was like, "Not you trying to be fucking petty, using me to be petty with her, because that's gonna set her off." Baby, she started, "Oh, well, I just feel as though like you should be concerned about that," whatever that she was saying. Because he told me, he was like, she started going off about the bill and stuff like that, like just start going off about all this other old extra stuff and stuff like that. But it was like, honestly, she was just mad about that, like, I was chilling with you, and I was just like, cool. While he over here letting the girl berate him, I'm dancing in the rain, sitting there listening to music. I'm just like smoking, just let him handle whatever that he got here going on. I'm just like, y'all done yet? So I'm really thinking about it. Like, I really did not care about what he had going on until he started bringing it to my table. Because doing that, that's low-key bringing it to my table. Don't put my name in nothing. Don't use me for nothing. That's between you and her. You could just say you kicking it with a friend. Baby. I'm not, she don't even know my name. So, like I said, I'm now used to coming back to the apartment. So, I pull up to the apartment. I think this was literally the day before going to Miami. It was kind of cold outside. Did nobody want to go outside to smoke? So, we went to go smoke in like this little, it's like this, it was like it was like a storage room warehouse. It like connected to the other side of the apartment building, but you can like cut through there, like, but people be in there like probably like smoking, fucking, like, it was like one of those little weird rooms or whatever. So again, we're smoking, chilling, da da da, and I think I was standing up because like I didn't feel like sitting down. He was like, "Okay, D, what I'm gonna do?" I said, "Do about what? What the fuck is talking about?" He said, "I'm my child's mother," and stuff like that. I said, "Is this something that you want to do?" And he was like, "No, it's not something I want to do." Like, he said, "But I'm just like," he said, "But she just keeps trying to like get back with me and stuff like that." I was just like, "Well, you keep bringing it up, and it seems as though this is something that you want to do. So if this is going to save you money, time, and resources, then just go ahead and do that, bro. Because you keep bringing it up." And he was like, "Don't do that. Don't ruin your dick." Bitch. What are you talking about? I was like, I'm not ruining anything. I'm just asking a question because you keep bringing it up. And if it's something that you want to do, then go ahead and do it. So he said something, and I was like, "So, what's the verdict? You with this or you not with this no more?" Like, he was like, "So," my sister said, "I don't want to talk about this no more." I said, "All right, you set this up, so I'm gonna still keep going accordingly. You ain't said nothing about stopping. You ain't said nothing about wanting to not fuck with me no more. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna keep going accordingly because you didn't say nothing." But him bringing that up was him saying something. But I kept giving him the opportunity. I'm just like, "Bro, break it off with me. Tell me that, oh, I think that we should just coolly kick it till I figure out what's going on between me and my child's mother, and then whatever." So if you try to give me stipulations that we can't text or whatever, da da da, like, you will have a way to explain that. And I understood where he was trying to go with that, but that was that Tom Riddle stuff. So now, after this is where Voldemort start coming out. We brush past the conversation, of course. We go back into the apartment. Shorty literally freaks my brains out. Like, y'all ever, bitch, you ever been fucking and like the nigga be doing you so good, and you be like, why are you fucking me like this? Like, why are you doing it like this? Like, why are you fucking me like this? It was one of them. Shorty walked me to my car, you know what I'm saying? We hugged. He like, tell me have a nice trip, da da da. So even as I'm leaving, we still texting each other. We're texting each other like it's damn near 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. We're still texting each other because I had to catch, we had to catch like a 7 o'clock flight. So by time that I think I had my stuff, I think I was leaving his place and I went straight to my cousin's place because I already knew I was gonna be there like practically all night. So I already had my stuff with me. So I went straight to my cousin's place from his place, and we was up texting. Shorty like, he was like, come sit my face, and I was like, boy, I just left there. Like, stop talking to me crazy. Seriously, stop talking to me crazy. I'm in the yams, and of course, this time Snapchats are popping. Snapchats are popping for me. So we got each other on Snap. So I see him watching some of my stuff, So I'm putting up couple of cute little videos. I can look like, just to see if he watches it or stuff like that. But I see he was watching, but he wasn't really watching. So I'm like, hold on, wait, this nigga always really watches my stories. He wasn't really watching. And so I remember I texted him or something like that, and we were discussing something. And then he was like, what you doing down there, da da da. So I was telling him, like, oh, we got this plan for today, this, then, the third. And I just asked him, like, have a good day at work, blah, 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 just regular conversations. And I remember he told me he was red flag. See, this is a self-reflection video. I'm sitting here literally self-reflecting. He texted me all my vacation. He was just like, well, I want you to have a good vacation. Like, I don't want you to like, I want you to enjoy yourself. So go ahead and like text me later. Enjoy yourself. Da da da. That's there's a lot of that should have been it. But when he said that though, something in my spidey nigga senses was like, I am having a good time. Why are you like cutting the conversation short to tell me to go have fun? If I wasn't having fun, I wouldn't be telling you I was having fun, and you wouldn't be seeing it. And mind you, what I was asking you about, it was just like a regular, like, he was talking to me about something, and I was answering him and giving him responses. And then he told me, like, turn around and say, well, go ahead and have fun. So that's what I did. I went to go have fucking fun because I was continuously having fun, and I wasn't stopping. So I don't know what he was telling me. I know why he was telling me that, as I later on figured out. But, and I was sure that y'all put two and two together by this point. But, all right, boom. So I returned back from Miami. But I remember seeing a snap of him and like 4 people in the car. And I remember seeing a girl. But, whatever. I mean, I'm not his girlfriend, so we're not together. Like, he was like in the car, but there was another guy in the car. So I'm just like, oh, probably his friends and stuff like that. And then he put up like a picture, but it looked like he went out. So like he was like dressed up, but like he had on a chain and stuff like that. Like usually he'll wear like sweats and a hoodie, but like this time like he had on jeans and a shirt and stuff like that. I was like, oh, so he went out. Okay, cool. Okay, live your life, baby girl. I get back home, and for some reason, I just felt the energy shift. I felt the little iffiness, the late replies, I'm gonna call you back, or oh, I was planning on coming, or like, what I'm saying, like, oh, like, can we kick it today? Oh, I gotta be with my daughter today, whatever. So like, I wasn't going to tell you to not be with your child. So yeah, like some of this, some of that, some of this. I remember I was on the phone with my friend, and I was on the phone. We're gonna call Stacy. I was on the phone with Stacy, and I was just kind of explaining to her, just like, I know that I can approach him and ask him things, but I don't know how to approach him about, like, I feel like you're kind of egging me, and like, if you are, what's the tea, what's good. So I was trying to figure out if it was one of those things, and she was like, if he's the type of guy that you said that he was, like, where you were open in conversation and you guys can like communicate, etc., then I don't see why not, as to like, approach him and stuff like that. As soon as I get off the phone with Stacy, I get on Snapchat. I see his name, Tom Riddle. I see that it's highlighted. Boop. I opens it up and I see him in the front and I see baby girl, child's mother, in the back. I see an arm around the neck. I see a smile and a whoopty 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 woo. And I see his last name with a little women and man emoji. So, bitch, you know when I saw that, I was shook. I was... Bitch, what? The riddles? It wasn't just one, there was more. So you know that I clicked through every single one. You know that I clicked through every single one. Bitch, you know I called Stacy immediately after. I said, bitch. She said, what? I said, bitch, did we not just get off the phone? She said, bitch, what? I said, bitch, we just got off the phone. As soon as I got off the phone, I went on Snapchat. Guess who the fuck I see on Snapchat? She said, who? Bitch, I see Voldemort and his Bella Matrix in Snapchat all laid out talking about the riddles. And she was like, are you serious? Bitch, I'm so serious. Bitch, you know the next day he texted me. Hey, how you doing? How am I doing? I'll tell you how I'm doing. So, what aggravated me the most, and I made this abundantly and extremely and utterly clear, is not the fact that he got back with his child's mother. I had a feeling that that was going to happen because of the way that it started and the fact that the child was literally under 2 years old. And y'all was actually in a relationship, so you're just literally sowing your royal oats. What bothered me is the fact that Voldemort brought this to my attention. Thomas Riddle brought this to my attention. And I brought it back to his attention that I paid attention to what he was giving me. So I need you, or not I need you, but I suggest that you should go explore that full-fledged. Because if you do, you ain't gonna have me. So go on, do that. But no. Baby boy wanted his cake, cupcake, and cake pop and eat it too. So that's why he told me what he told me. And that's why he cut the conversation off the way he cut it off. Because he still wanted me to be around. Because yeah, I'm over here exploring. But just in case this don't work out, I already know. Ooh, I forgot where I was going. I was in the city. And I remember I was very much ignoring him. Just very much ignoring him. And I was upset. And so I think I waited till I got off the train to really dig in. And I was like, honestly, dude, I'm gonna be real with you. I wasn't too keen about how you made a scene with your child's mother. And I said, what upsets me the most is that I gave you an opportunity, or when you brought it to me, I was just I gave you an opportunity to be real. I gave you an opportunity to be raw, to say what the real tea is. But then you turn around and do the sneaky stuff and post up on Snapchat. Am I supposed to get a hint or something like that? Or something like what's good with you? His response was, okay, it's been cool. Nice knowing you. Peace sign. All of us just straight like that. You got nothing to say, or wait a minute, baby girl. So I said, all right. So if you feel as though that ending this friendship without discussing or whatever is what you need to do, because you got caught doing some sneaky stuff after I told you to be real about it, then go ahead and do that. I mean, it's unfortunate that, we have to resort to this, but go ahead and do that. Shorty said, okay, nice meeting you. It was cool, though. That was a direct message before I said if you feel like that's what you need to do, then fuck it. Shorty said, okay. So I said, whatever. Bitch, I was going off. Group chat was lit. Phone calls was lit. I was popping off. Because I was like, how the fuck, da-da-da. And even after I gave him opportunity, da-da-da, the nigga should just been real about it from the jump, da-da-da. Then he gonna say, oh, it's cool, nice meeting you, da-da-da.